Okay, so almost every self-help video that you're going to watch is going to tell you that you need to add something. You need to add this new skill in 2026. You need to read this new book. You need to go and start this new morning routine. And actually, I'm going to tell you something different. Like, what if the most powerful thing that you can do for your own reinvention is what you actually take away? And that's what I'm going to do here today. I talk about sustainable ways for your work and your life, especially when you're in a period of reinvention. So the first thing that I had to give up was the fear of conflict. I had to completely accept that conflict is the name of the game, especially when you start exercising your own power. Conflict will always come. So it's not a case of avoiding it and hoping I don't step on anybody's toes, but it's actually knowing, how do I address conflict when it comes up? So again, I'm just going to reiterate this because it's so important. It's not about avoiding conflict, which is what I used to do. It's about, how can I show up as powerfully as possible inside of conflict and navigate it in a way that leaves everybody feeling good after it. So that was the change of the game. I had to change my relationship with conflict and remove the fear of having conflict and really step into it. So that was point number one. Okay, point number two is changing my relationship with the need for approval. I had to let go of this idea that I was going to be something to everyone. And I hear this being said a lot, like, oh, drop the need for approval. But actually, I'm looking at it slightly differently. If instead of, maybe it's actually not fully a case of dropping the need for approval, but changing the spaces in which I am, quote unquote, approved of. Right? It's being in the communities and being in the structures and being in the masterminds where I feel a sense of community, where it is, yes, you speak your mind and conflict is accepted and challenge is accepted. Having a different point of view is accepted. Even if we don't get to a consensus, it's absolutely okay. So I would say, if I was going to be very specific on it, it would be dropping the need for approval in spaces that were not aligned to who I'm becoming and the version of me that I'm creating. That had to go. Then point number three, the third thing that I've had to let go of is that the world is not supportive. So as I go through my days, I'm just constantly trusting that as I take action and I do the things that I need to do, that the world is supporting me, that I'll meet the people that I need to meet that will help me realize my vision. That these people, I have no idea, I don't know them in this moment, but as I keep going, I will find them on my way and the universe will bring them. And these are people that will truly, truly support the vision that I have. And it's my job is to go and put myself out there and allow things to happen. So that's another thing that's been huge, is just really, really dropping this idea that the world is against me. The world is actually for me and is supporting me as I go along. The fourth thing that I've had to let go of is that where I come from is a reason why I'm not experiencing what I want to experience, right? I've just had this narrative that I was born in Kenya, like from a developing world. It's like, this idea that I have too much scarcity thinking, or, there's not enough, etc. And so I've had to really change my relationship with where I'm from, because now when I look at where I'm from, now that I'm spending more time in Kenya right now, is that I am in a country where people are super resourceful, right? Like really scrappy with making things work, which has been so, so inspirational to me. And also just coming from a place where there's a lot of togetherness. There's this African word called Ubuntu, where people come together and they really support each other. And that is huge here. And that's been super inspirational. So I've really had to let go of this story of where I come from has been a negative, like this thing, like this that's been holding me back, and embracing that it's more that something that is really actually moving me forward. And how can I use where I'm from as something that does move me forward? So point five is, I've actually also really had to change my relationship with reinvention as this problem to solve. And this was really insidious because I didn't realize that this was inside of me, that I was just thinking that reinvention is a problem to solve rather than just an experience that I get to savor, that I get to experience it, because then I've been moving through it and I've started seeing my outcomes and results that are coming out of it. However, I realized that what I've been doing is experiencing it more from a place of pain, that something that I have to endure, that rather than something that I get to experience and something that I guess to change my relationship with uncertainty. And the opportunity is, how do I get to experience my reinvention rather from a place of pain? I get to experience it from a place of opportunity and a place of wonder. Like, what can be created in here? Like, what's exciting? What can come through that has never come through before because it finally has space for it. So it's really changing my relationship with the reinvention, and especially at my age. Coming back home and spending more time with my family, being at home. Well, I've lived on my own for more than half of my life, so being home in this way is also new to me. But what can come out of it rather than it being something that I endure? So to conclude, in this video, what I've talked about, there are 5 things that I've really had to give up as I go through the stages of reinvention. I've gone through them here, and one of them is just conflict and being okay with conflict. That's been huge. And also just changing my relationship to reinvention as well has been a big one. So if you're inside of your reinvention right now, I hope that this comes as something that is supportive to you as you go through you go through your own stages of reinvention and figuring out what it is that you would need to let go of to get yourself onto the other side. And with that, if this has been helpful, click the subscribe button and I'll see you on the next video.